Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to recap adults adopting adults. But before we get into the recap, we need to have a little talk first. Okay, so I've been recapping Sister Wives and that show is about to end. So I've been on the lookout for another show that you all would be interested in watching me recap. And I came across Reality Squad's video. She's a YouTuber here, and she was talking about this new show called Adults Adopting Adults, which I wasn't unfamiliar with because just recently I watched the Janet Jackson documentary on A&E, and Adults Adopting Adults came up as sort of a suggested show to watch, and I didn't know it was new. I thought it was old, and I thought it seemed weird, but okay. But once I watched Reality Squad's video, she said it was sort of a cross between 90 Day Fiance, Seeking Sister Wife, with a little dash of Love After Lockup. So I thought, okay, that could be fun to recap. That sounds, interesting enough. But after watching this first episode, I don't know if I can keep recapping it, honestly, because it feels wrong. It's just, there's something about it that just doesn't feel right. This is A&E, arts and entertainment. I guess it's supposed to be entertaining, but I'm also appalled by it. And not that, I think A&E is on some high moral programming ground as opposed to TLC, but they sure are giving TLC a run for their money with the show, let me tell you. So this is how it's gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and recap this first episode. You let me know, are you guys watching this show? Do you want to see me recap this, or can you see where I'm coming from when I'm saying there's something not right about this show, that it almost feels wrong? I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I'm just like, what am I watching? What are we watching right now? Okay, so let me start with, okay, before I get into, because we're introduced to 3 families, okay? And the show is exactly what it sounds like. It's adults adopting adults. And I suppose on my first preconceived judgment, I'm thinking, okay, those being adopted by the adult, this must be financially driven for them. They must want that inheritance, whatever money and properties there are. But I don't understand why somebody would want to adopt an adult. I don't get it, because if what you want is ultimately, let's say you don't have any kids and you want somebody to leave everything to, can't we put that in a will? Can't we make that person the executor, give them power of attorney? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe we need to get Emily D. Baker in on this case, because I just don't, the legalities of why you would want to adopt an adult, it just doesn't make sense to me. I understand, let me say, also, that if you're somebody who didn't have parents or had a terrible relationship with your mom or dad, and you're looking for that person to sort of fill that void, I get that. I understand. Makes total sense. But why we need to legally adopt as an adult, I am baffled. It doesn't make sense to me. So let's get the least offensive family out of the way first. That would be Kim. Kim is 39, she's married, she lives in Vegas, and she has a couple kids, and she's the one who actually wants to be adopted by Vicki and Joe. Now, in this case, Kim is not looking to get some big payday from Vicki and Joe, because Vicki and Joe are of humble means. Kim is actually a very successful accountant, and her husband's a successful attorney. So what she is really looking for is a grandparents for her children, and sort of a mother figure for herself. She says she's actually was adopted from Korea, and her father's passed away, and she's currently estranged from her adoptive mom. We're just gonna call her her mom, just to keep things simple and easy to understand. And she says her in-laws, his parents just aren't really involved with the kids, which is interesting, but okay. So she goes online and she finds Vicki and Joe. Vicki and Joe, like I said, did I tell you she's on disability, and he's a local truck driver? So they don't even have a lot of money or assets to leave behind. So I don't think it's about that at all. Between them, they have 3 sons, and Vicki is just itching and dying to be a grandmother, but her sons are not in that stage in their life to be parents and give her grandkids. So she went on the site and found Kim. They found each other, and so they've been existing as sort of, surrogate daughter, surrogate grandparents for the kids. They hang out, they have a great relationship. So now Kim wants to be adopted by them, but I don't know why. And the wrinkle here is that recently Kim has started to rekindle and rebuild her relationship with her mom. And there's about to be a birthday party. I didn't get her name, Kim's daughter. She's young. She looks like she's gonna be 10 or so. She's about to have a birthday party, and so Kim has invited her mom to come to the party and visit. And you can already tell both the mom and the surrogate grandma are already trying to mark their territory. When Kim goes out to hang out with surrogate mom Vicki and with the kids, and she's letting her know like, hey, I talked to my mom, she's gonna come visit and stay with me and be at the party, so you're gonna meet her. You can already tell Vicky's just like, okay, well, she better know that she's not taking these babies away from me. Like, these are my grandkids, like kind of like staking her claim. And then when Kim's mom finally gets to Vegas to visit and meet and hang out, same thing. Like, she is aware of Vicki as the surrogate grandmother, and she's telling Kim, that's fine when I'm not here. She wants to be the stand-in grandma, but you know, I am your mother. I raised you. These are my grandkids. Like, I got it when I'm here. And Kim's just like, okay. Like, Kim has not let her know yet that she is planning to be adopted by Vicki, because she knows obviously it's going to upset her mom and it could get in the way of them finally trying to rebuild their relationship. The producer asks Kim, is this kind of your way of getting back at your mom? And she says, no, of course not. It has nothing to do with that, but probably does. And they could probably benefit from some therapy. Honestly, everybody in this show could benefit for some real, like, intensive therapy. And that's not me trying to be shady and mean. It's like, there ain't nothing wrong with therapy, but I think we need to address the real issues of what's going on inside of us, because I don't think adopting adults is the cure and answer to whatever is going on with you. Okay, so that's Kim and Vicki and Joe. So we'll see how that unfolds. Like I said, they seem like the least offensive. Like, yeah, there's gonna be some drama there, but okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Derek and Carol. They're from New York. They are both on their third marriage with each other, and neither one of them have biological children of their own, although Carol does have a stepdaughter from a previous marriage that she seems to be close to and consider a daughter. Carol works at a local community college as a counselor, and she has met this young woman by the name of Bianca, who is 23, who she says is just really smart and bright and has a great future ahead of her, but sort of comes from a troubled background, not close to her mom. There's a lot of, you know, like drugs and things like that. So she just wants to be there to kind of like, I guess, give her a leg up on life. And so she's brought this young woman, 23, into her home so they can adopt her. And I'm like, that's if you, as Carol, and Carol, you know, I don't think she's a stupid woman. I don't think she's dumb. She seems actually just very sweet. And I don't want to say naive, but because you guys, this ain't Carol's first time at the rodeo. This has happened before, okay? As a matter of fact, in her previous marriage, same thing. She met a girl that she was counseling, took to her, brought her into the home to adopt her, and lo and behold, that girl ends up sleeping with Carol's husband. Hence why they're divorced now. And it kind of broke with the family. This was the father of the stepdaughter that Carol is close to, and so why she's deciding to go down this path again, I don't know. Because if you meet somebody in sort of a counselor sort of situation, why isn't it enough to just be a great mentor to her and a mother figure? And hey, if this girl needs a little help and a place to stay, sure, you can stay here until you get on your feet, but why are we adopting her and calling her our daughter? And as far as Derek goes, I can't quite put my finger on him or his motivation, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that his intention is honest and there's nothing unseemly going on there. But he just says, you know, he wants to be a parent and be a dad. But the days of parenting this grown-ass woman are done. You can't parent her anymore. Like, who she is, the things she's going to do, the influence you have on her, she's going to do what she wants to do, because they're sitting like at the pool. You know, the dad is swimming around, and Bianca's sitting there, you know, with her legs in the pool and just telling her dad how she wants to get more tattoos and how she know mom isn't going to like that. And he's saying, oh yeah, and you know, his job is just to make sure he keeps her out of that strip club. And I'm like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, I would never have that kind of conversation with my dad, and he's being dead serious. It wasn't like a joke between them. And I'm like, if she wants to be in a strip club, she'll go be in that strip. There's nothing you can do now. Like, this woman is gonna do what she wants to do. Because, by the way, she introduces us, Bianca, to her alter ego, Gina, who likes to, you know, go recreate little Kim album covers in the middle of the street. And that's just her sexy side and her naughty bad side. I'm like, does mom and dad know about your mom and dad know about this side of you? Are they aware of Gina? And oh my, I don't even know. So I don't know what Bianca's motivation is. It can feel a little, hustler like, you know, is she trying to get the money out of them and that inheritance? And I don't know. Like, I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Honestly, I do. I don't want to believe that that's what Bianca's looking for, because maybe she really does just want like a mom and a dad who she can rely on and who will be proud of her. I get that, but why do we need to legally adopt? That I don't understand. Why Derek wants to be like a parent, and what, because what, you want to pay for her wedding when that day comes? Because that's what dads do. Or why, you know, you want to dispense your sage old wise advice, and why don't you find like a young boy to mentor and be a dad to, who's like 10, 11, throw the football with him, help him get a leg up in life? Like, why are we, why? And okay, so all the problem in this issue in this family is that Carol and Derek's families don't really approve. You know, Carol has a stepdaughter who wants like nothing to do with the show, nothing to do with this whole debacle, because she's been through it. It's probably re-traumatizing her to know that, hey, last time, stepmom, you brought in some, you know, counselee in from your junior college. She destroyed our family. Like, why are you doing this again? Especially when you have me here as a daughter. Why isn't that enough for you? That's probably how the stepdaughter feels, and I don't blame her. On Derek's end, his mom absolutely doesn't approve of it. He has this FaceTime call with his brother, who's just asking him, like, do you know who this girl is? Have you done a background check? Is she after your money? Are you after some sort of like relationship with her? And I mean, there are questions that we're all thinking, and Derek is annoyed with the questions, but hey, they're fair enough, and he answers them, you know, albeit he's irritated. And he says, yeah, like, we know about her. She comes from a troubled background. It's not about the money. Like, no, I don't see her in that way at all. She's like a daughter. So there are your, you know, the question and answer portion of this game is over. If you don't like it, that's fine, but I'm going to need you all to respect it, or you basically just won't have a relationship with me, because this person is really important to me. She's going to be our daughter. I'm like her father. So deal with it, basically. And I'm just like, like I said, I can't quite put my finger on Bianca, and I can't quite put my finger on Derek. Do I think there's something going on with them? Not necessarily, but it's such an odd, it's so odd to me. Like, why we can't just make her like somebody we mentor and help out? Like, I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens with them. All right, Danny and Christy, married couple from Ohio. This segment is why I'm having trouble with the idea of recapping the show, because it just, their storyline, it feels so wrong and so gross. But okay, let me lay down the facts for you, and then you guys can let me know what you think, okay? So we have Danny and Christy. They're a married couple. They live in Ohio. They don't have any children. They just have a lot of fur babies. And one day, a while back, Danny was selling a puppy to this 18-year-old girl, and he just felt this fatherly daughter connection with her, so much so that they built this relationship, and he wanted to adopt her, until lo and behold, he caught feelings for her, like inappropriate feelings. And so that's not gonna work. And side note, they did mention that there has been some infidelity on Danny's part. I don't think with the 18-year-old girl, but he's a known cheater, and he doesn't even seem sorry about it. So what does Danny do? He jumps on an adult adopting adult app and finds Ileana, and I guess Ileana finds him. And now Ileana is a 20-year-old pregnant Austrian woman who lives in Austria, who's on the brink of homelessness and desperate to find a place for her and her baby. And Danny is a dirty old man, and that is putting it like as really nice. Like, honestly, he is giving me To Catch a Predator vibes, if I'm being quite frank. So their solution is to fly Ileana from Austria to America so that Danny and Christy can adopt her, help her take care of her baby, and they can just be one big happy family. And Danny's wife, Christy, is begrudgingly co-signing this bullshit and isn't totally comfortable with bringing Ileana into the house. So her solution is to put Ileana in a camper about, I don't know, 5 yards away from the house, as if that's going to keep Danny away from her. And I do feel bad for this wife, because clearly she has like no self-esteem, no self-worth, is just doing this to make her husband happy and appease him so he'll stick around. Like, girl, you don't need this man. It's so disgusting, because this guy is he creeps me out. He's such a dirty old creepy man. So what I will say for Ileana, and I'm not trying to like throw her under the bus or victim blame her, but I don't think she's a total innocent either, because the picture she sends Danny to use as like a default iPhone pic, like when he calls, it's what'll pop up. And maybe she didn't intend for him to use it that way, but he does. She sends him this picture of her, like it's straight out of like a Maxim magazine, where she's all like drippy wet. Like, I don't know, she's out of the bath, out of a pool. She's all drippy wet. She's like looking over her shoulder, all pouty lipped, seductive, like doesn't look like she's wearing anything. And that's the picture you're gonna send to your dad. And Dad, this is the picture you're gonna use of your daughter as like a default pic on your phone. Like, clearly, we see what's going on here. It's totally inappropriate. I mean, I guess on the one hand, you could argue, well, Ileana's 20, she's an adult. If she did sort of enter into some like relationship that was more than father and daughter, that's allowed. But it's gross, because I don't think, although I don't think Ileana's a total innocent, I just also don't think she's totally aware of like what the full consequences can be of her actions. I think she's just doing stupid shit to get herself out of a really bad situation. And I don't know what the system is like in Austria. I don't know if there are shelters or programs or church, or girl, you really don't even have one friend. But this can't be the only and best option. Like, I think you might rather take your chances on the street than move in with this guy. And I'm not trying to make light of being like out on the street and homeless. It's just like, I don't think she's aware of like what she's really walking into. I mean, it might be on her periphery of like what maybe he's looking for, but I mean, I don't know that she knows like the full expectation and hope I think he has put on her. And she doesn't owe him anything. She doesn't owe him any kind of like physical relationship at all. Do not get me wrong, but I think it's what he's hoping will happen. And what it's reminding me of, you guys, is that whole Dimitri, Ashley, Snowden, Crystalline situation. It's like the same thing all over again. You got this young girl from another country coming to America where she doesn't know anybody but this couple, that because she's FaceTime a handful of times thinks, oh, they're good, it'll be okay, but really it is not okay. You have no idea what you're getting into. And what's also troubling me and I don't even want to laugh about it. It's like, I feel like I'm watching a crime like unfold, is that like we're standing around and like watching, like not just like, I mean, it's filmed, we're watching, but it's like you have like cameramen and producers like filming this stuff, and it's like, it doesn't feel right. Like when that, if you watch Seeking Sister Wives or my recaps and you know all the fallout that happened, in my review, I kind of made a point of saying, you know, Crystalline didn't deserve to have any of that stuff happen to her. It doesn't matter if she was naive or stupid. Like, nobody deserves to be abused or preyed upon in that way. But what I also said was we really, as people, and especially young women, need to be really careful about the situations we're putting ourselves in, especially when you have kids and unborn kids. You know, we got to be smarter. And, you know, I know things happen, and I'm sure she didn't obviously intend for that to happen, but you got to be really careful of who you involve yourself with. But also what I pointed out is we as people need to look out for each other too. Like if you see something bad happening and it's like, yeah, like we got to step in and say something. And I just feel like we're just like, they're just like, you're producing this segment, you're just letting this happen to this girl. Like she has no idea what she's getting herself into, and we're just supposed to watch this train wreck. And it's like, I know we like a train wreck, but I don't think I want to, I don't think I want to be on this train. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, you guys. And I'm not trying to like get on some like soapbox and, oh, you know, I won't review this. It's just, am I overthinking this? Like, am I overreacting? Because I mean, if you're watching the show, like we all see it, right? Like it's all clear what's happening. For a second, they don't think she's gonna come. Oh, I forgot to mention, like they're making, Danny's making this welcome sign for Ileana to hold at the airport, welcoming her. And it's like this janky stick figure sign. And he's asking his wife, Christy, oh, what should it say? And Christy's like, I don't know, what would you want it to say? And he says, oh, where's my blowy? And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, see, if that doesn't tell you the kind of person this dirty old man is, I don't know what to say. And so it turns out they're waiting at the airport. She does make the flight. She's walking towards them. Christy just like starts crying, and from afar you might think like, oh, how sweet, like her adoptive daughter, she's so happy she's gonna have a grandchild. But no, I think she was crying because then she realized like, oh shit, she really showed up. Because I think she was hoping and praying that she didn't make the flight, and realizing I'm about to get cheated on again with this like young girl. And Danny's just like, oh, let me hug you again. Oh, I just love loving on you. And it's like so gross because the way he talks about her even is like, oh, she needs me. I need to be there for her. Instead of like, hey, this young girl who's in trouble needs me and my wife's help and we want to be there. It's just like this one way thing. And he's even asking his wife at one point, are you going to have a problem with like me spending alone time with her? Why do you need to spend alone time with her? Like, why can't we just be a family? It's disgusting. It's so gross. I don't even know how else to articulate, but it's dirty. And so they get her home and in the camper and settled in. And the next morning, Danny's making breakfast for her and coffee because that's what dads do. And he keeps using that like dad card, but it's so, it's disgusting. And so he gives, you know, Ileana a cup of coffee, which, are you allowed to drink coffee when you're pregnant? Maybe it was decaf, I don't know. So he's telling Ileana, okay, we're all here and we just want to be open and upfront about everything and everything that's going on. And we've had some like troubles in our marriage. And Christy, do you want to share with her anything like about like our history and our problems? And Christy like, I think was so caught off guard and like her eyes are like welling up with tears and she's just like, no. Absolutely not. Like, no. And she like walks off and Danny's just like, oh, like, what an idiot. Like, maybe that's something you could have like shared with Ileana before she got there. Like, hey, just to give you a heads up, me and my wife are having a lot of problems. As a matter of fact, I tried adopting a young woman once and I fell in love with her. And that's, yeah, it hasn't helped the situation. So that Ileana would have an idea of like the kind of person you are and what to maybe expect from you. It's just, it's so gross. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, am I overreacting here? I just don't feel right even recapping it because just like I said, it feels like a crime, like unfolding before my eyes. And I feel bad for this girl because I do think she's vulnerable and I do think he's preying upon that vulnerability. And she might think she's grown and she knows, but she has no idea like what's in store for her. And I guess this is all filmed and like, but if something bad were to happen, like I feel bad that I kind of got in here and like made light of it and like joked about it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Cause it's like, I don't necessarily want to throw the show away completely. Cause I know we're going to get a few other families and I know like that Prince von Anholt's going to be on. He's like Zsa Zsa Gabor's 10th husband. He was claiming to be like, Anna Nicole Smith's baby daddy. And like he's looking for a little like heir prince. Like that's fun, that's silly, that's scripted, that's whatever. But this segment, it just feels gross to me. And so maybe I'll just keep recapping the show, but like just not talk about their segment, or I can give you like a 1-sentence update if you guys want. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you know what I'm saying? Did you guys watch? I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Let me know what you think. Also, I was thinking, if not this show, if you guys are just like, yeah, we don't really care, we're not really into it. I was also thinking of reviewing 1,000 Pound Best Friends. And I know that might not be everybody's like favorite show, because the whole like 1,000 Pound Sisters. But I feel like with this show, it's kind of different because I know with 1,000 Pound Sisters, like Tammy just isn't really ready to make changes in her life. And I feel like on this show, like all the women are kind of on board. And so it seems like a little bit more positive. I could be wrong. I'll watch the first episode and see. But are you guys at all interested in that show? Let me know what you think. Because Sister Wives is about to be done and I don't have really anything. And I really like interacting and talking about the shows. And I have fun recapping this. So let me know what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Do you know what I'm trying to say about this segment with Danny, the dirty old man, and his like wife who just needs to get the hell out of there and kick him out? Let me know what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.